consideration provided by...
If you're washing with the Bargain brand, even when your clothes look clean, there's extra dirt you can't see. Watch this. That was in these clothes. Ugh. But the clothes washed in Tide, so much cleaner. And if it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Hygienic Clean. No surprises in these clothes. Couple more surprises.
Rita Wilson guest stars on Sunday's episode of 1883, and we've got your exclusive look.
How about a whiskey punch?
Would you join me?
I've been joining you since noon.
And tomorrow on ET, our new interviews with the 1883 cast, plus our one-of-a-kind exclusive with Judy Garland's daughters, Liza Minnelli and Lorna Love. The Judy Garland only they knew.
She was so tiny, she would always say,
happening now.
The city of San Antonio's plans for the Broadway corridor up in the air today after a vote by a state commission. Why and what next?
Grocery prices continue to rise, and this is what's next. Velveeta cheese and Oscar Mayer hot dogs. Coming up, how to trim your grocery bill.
And I'm tracking a little disturbance in the atmosphere that could kickstart a few showers tonight. I'll tell you where we're most likely to see the rain and a bit of a warming trend to chat about. The News at 5 starts right now.
And we begin with breaking news. 3 Houston police officers shot the suspect on the run. That's according to Houston police. This happening just about an hour ago in the Midtown area of Houston, where there was a possible chase involving officers and a suspect.
One of the officers shot was taken to the hospital by an ambulance. The other 2 taken by HPD. We're being told, though, that all 3 are in stable condition now. That's a report coming from our sister station in Houston. Houston police saying that the suspect left in a white Mercedes. We're working this story. We'll bring you updates as details become available.
The state is taking Broadway back, well, at least a stretch of it. The city of San Antonio's plans to turn Broadway Avenue into what planners call a complete street, hitting a big detour.
The Texas Transportation Commission, which oversees TxDOT, voted 3-1 this afternoon to halt a long-planned transfer of part of Broadway over to the city's control. The 2.2-mile stretch of road makes up the majority of the city's redesign plans for that corridor.
Our Garrett Berger tells us those plans have been thrown into disarray. Garrett joins us now from along Broadway to explain. All right, Garrett, what does this vote mean?
Well, in short, it means that this portion of Broadway from I-35 all the way north up to the Alamo Heights city limits will remain under TxDOT's control. Though the state's Transportation Commission took action 7 years ago to hand over this stretch of road to the city, the transfer was never completed. And now with today's vote, it won't be. At the heart of the issue, the state wants Broadway to stay broad.
Reconstructing Broadway has been a city goal for years, something voters approved $42 million for in the 2017 bond program.
Since that 2017 vote, businesses up and down the corridor have invested millions of dollars in new development.
The city has spent $3 million so far just on planning for the state-owned portion. Its plans for the corridor include reducing traffic lanes to make room for bigger sidewalks, protected bike lanes, and landscaping.
TxDOT has been with us every step of the way. Until very recently.
Now, TxDOT officials say the project, as it stands, is a no-go. Reducing lanes, they say, would cause more traffic congestion,
which will end up forcing traffic onto maybe side streets, neighboring streets, or other corridors.
It's a position which city officials say they've only recently heard.
In layman's terms, it's an about-face. Don't really understand the vote, don't see how it was necessary or warranted, but I guess those answers will come in the coming days.
All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Though the commission's vote halted the handoff of Broadway, Chairman J. Bruce Bugg Jr., who's from San Antonio, said the city and state can still work together.
But the only stipulation is we cannot reduce capacity on Broadway.
Governor Greg Abbott also released a statement yesterday, his office saying that he was against the reducing lanes. But how the city could move forward with its plans without reducing lanes remains to be seen. City Manager Eric Walsh releasing this statement following the vote. Quote, "We're disappointed in the complete about-face by TxDOT after working with the city and stakeholders for the last 6 years. It's not clear how the state will accomplish what the voters approved without reducing the current 7 lanes of traffic. But we will stay focused on developing a path forward to deliver the project the community expects." Live on Broadway, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Garrett. We'll stay on top of it. We have some new information tonight on the siblings accused of stabbing and beating their mother Wednesday morning. The 2 teens have been ordered to stay in custody. The 13-year-old boy and 16-year-old girl appearing before a judge this morning at the Juvenile Justice Center. Prosecutors called both of the children a danger to themselves and to others. Their mother was reportedly left in critical condition after the attack at an apartment complex on West Military Highway. A neighbor tells us he woke up to the screams the morning of the incident.
She had blood running down her arm. That day, the son, she was telling the son, as she was walking up, she said that you were grounded, I'm taking away the TV.
The judge says those teens will remain in custody until their hearings next month. The attorney representing the boy says the police report states his client was being abused inside that home. He also claims the children may have been trying to get away when they allegedly attacked their mother.
One person in the hospital, another behind bars following an early morning crash on I-35. That crash happened around 2:30 this morning in the 3800 block of I-35 southbound. That's near Benz Engelman and Seguin Road. San Antonio police say the driver went off the highway into a ditch, launched over a cross street into another ditch before finally coming to a stop in the median. The male passenger taken to BAMC where he's expected to recover. Police say the driver arrested on suspicion of DWI.
San Antonio police asking the public for any information regarding a nearly 4-year-old murder case. According to SAPD, Ray Richardson was shot and killed in May of 2018. It happened just before 10 o'clock in the 1000 block of Canton Street. Police say that Richardson was last seen leaving the Artisan Apartments on Gembler Road that night. His car was later found abandoned in front of an apartment complex. Anyone with information being asked to call Crime Stoppers. The phone number to call, 210-224-7867.
The San Antonio Fire Department says a warehouse fire near downtown started by people just trying to keep warm. According to SAFD, the fire started inside a vacant warehouse in the 800 block of East Locust Avenue. That's near the Pearl. That happened about 4 this morning. Fire officials say the building is supposed to be empty, but it appears people were living inside. They believe someone started the fire to stay warm. No injuries were reported.
Taking a look at the latest COVID-19 data for Bexar County. Today, Metro Health reporting almost 4,300 new cases and 7 more people have died. Meanwhile, hospitalizations are slightly down from yesterday. Right now, less than 1,300 people are in the hospital. 263 of those patients are in the ICU. 123 are on a ventilator.
And across the United States, health officials tracking a new subvariant of Omicron. They're calling it a stealth Omicron because it's harder to detect. The subvariant has been reported in at least 55 countries. That includes dozens of cases in the U.S. The World Health Organization says there's no cause for concern, really. They say the subvariant not deadlier than the original Omicron, just harder to detect. Experts do say the more the virus spreads, the more variants and subvariants will appear.
What we need to do is to lower the amount of replication of the virus anywhere. And that means, get everybody vaccinated, not just in the US, but the whole world. And so if we can lower the amount of virus, fewer variants.
Meanwhile, health officials are continuing to urge people to get their booster shots. A new study out from the National Institutes of Health shows mixing and matching boosters is safe, finding it creates a similar immune response to those who stuck with the same series.
Earlier this morning, a chill in the air at 37, but by this afternoon, we made it up to 62 degrees. A little bit of sunshine that we had for a few hours. went a long way for us, the average high being 64. Right now, we're mostly in the 50s, 55 in Lakey, West Kerrville, 59 degrees. We do have some 60s out there, Floresville 63, Windcrest 63 as well. All right, as we go through the evening hours, temperatures just gradually falling off, and by midnight we'll be in the mid-40s, so near average for this time of year, but cloudy sky remaining, a little bit of energy moving overhead. That could kickstart a few sprinkles by midnight. We'll talk more about the rain chances, who's most likely to see the rain, the newest Drought Monitor released today, and a bit of a warming trend coming up.
Thank you, Adam. Today, President Joe Biden officially made the announcement Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer will retire. He's had his seat for nearly 3 decades.
Yeah, the president promising to nominate a black woman to fill Breyer's seat by the end of next month. ABC's Elizabeth Schultze with the latest from Washington.
A defining moment for President Biden and the future of the nation's highest court. The president formally announcing Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer will retire at the end of the court's term in June. And Biden's promising to nominate a black woman to fill the vacancy.
The person I will nominate will be someone with extraordinary qualifications, and that person will be the first black woman ever nominated to the United States Supreme Court.
The president called it a bittersweet day, commending Breyer for his 27 years on the bench. A pragmatist who built compromise among his colleagues, Breyer's legacy includes supporting the Affordable Care Act, expanding free speech, and defending a woman's right to choose by upholding abortion rights.
I think he's a model public servant in a time of great division in this country.
Seeming to acknowledge turbulent times in the country, Breyer said the great American experiment is not over yet, calling on the next generation to uphold the Constitution.
They'll determine whether the experiment still works. And of course, I am an optimist, and I'm pretty sure it will.
Biden says he'll announce his nominee to replace Breyer by the end of February. His first choice is believed to be 51-year-old Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, a former clerk to Justice Breyer, who was confirmed to the D.C. Court of Appeals with some Republican support last year.
I'm looking at the arguments, the facts, and the law.
Other contenders include Judge Leandra Kruger of the California Supreme Court, Judge Leslie Abrams Gardner of the U.S. District Court of Georgia, and Judge J. Michelle Childs of the U.S. District Court of South Carolina.
Senate Democrats are vowing a swift confirmation process, seeking an opportunity to reset after they failed to pass the Build Back Better bill and voting rights legislation. Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, Washington.
After the break, some major food brands announcing a price increase, meaning you could be paying more at the store. Coming up, details on how to save during your next trip down the grocery aisle.
Plus, find out how a local nonprofit organization is making it easier for you to test for kidney disease at home. Details next.
Welcome back, and here's a quick look at what we're working on for your news at 6 o'clock. Concern today over mail and ballot information being sent to voters in Bexar County. The county clerk's office tells us about the confusion that it's dealing with and what's happening to all those applications. Also, experts have a warning for parents when it comes to pediatric diabetes. A local endocrinologist discusses which symptoms to look out for and what some of the long-term effects could be. Also, the pandemic continues to cause a backlog in cases at the courthouse, and now it's causing a problem at the Bexar County Jail and with families waiting for their day in court. We're hearing from some of the people who are being affected, and we're also going to tell you when the courts plan to resume. That and so much more when we see you at 6 o'clock.
Thank you, Stephanie. Well, a San Antonio nonprofit making it easier for people to get tested for kidney disease, saying early signs of detection help save lives. This morning, the Texas Kidney Foundation gave away thousands of at-home tests to detect kidney damage. The foundation says once people complete their test, they use their smartphone to scan a QR code. You get your results, sends them directly to the Texas Kidney Foundation.
It doesn't have to be this way, especially as I learned more about it. The majority of people don't know that they have kidney disease.
Before the pandemic, the Texas Kidney Foundation tested about 4,000 people a year. Last year, that number dropped to about 750. They hope this new at-home test will help them exceed the 4,000 they were doing before COVID.
From lunch meat to coffee, groceries are about to cost you more if they don't already. A major food manufacturer announcing it is raising some of its prices in just a few weeks. We all know our wallets are feeling it, so 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz has some strategies to trim your grocery bill.
For a lot of families, the weekly grocery shop is eating their lunch.
They've gone up, yes.
What have you noticed in particular?
Meat. Milk, eggs, dairy stuff.
And it seemed like it's going up not every week, but every day.
Shortages of some ingredients, transportation, and workers are driving many prices up. And now Kraft Heinz says it's raising prices in March on some things, such as Maxwell Health's coffee will be up 5%, Velveeta cheese up about 6%, and hot dogs up 10%. It pays to strategize. So how do you save?
Just kind of price comparison, shopping at the stores where you get the best deal for your buck.
Price check, price check, price check.
Buy in bulk and only eat and use what you need.
You can also save money when you get to the checkout register. If you don't want to clip coupons, download your store's app and use digital coupons. Consider using a credit card that offers cash back on groceries. For example, the Blue Cash Preferred Card from American Express gives you 6% back. Just pay it off every month. And use a cash back app. With this one, Fetch, you scan the receipt and score points that you redeem for gift cards. But some of the tried and true money-saving moves are low-tech. Buy frozen produce. It's nutritious and cheaper. Buy store brands. And shop with a plan and a list to avoid those impulse buys. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Check out TransGuide at this hour with our traffic authority. And this is actually downtown, I-10 and Frio. And as it winds towards downtown, you can see the usual backup that we have, but nothing really out of the ordinary.
Yeah, and it's cloudy again. So
yeah,
that's not out of the
ordinary. That's also
either.
become normal, yeah.
We're used to the low clouds, and we had a little bit of sunshine earlier today. Yes, we did. Parts of San Antonio actually saw some blue in the sky and that big, bright bulb up there, right? That big bright ball. That's the sun. It was back, and tomorrow you're going to have it, especially by the noon hour. Now we have some big headlines to go over. A few sprinkles tonight. Don't get your hopes up in terms of accumulations, but we're going to talk about that and where we're most likely to see some moisture warming into next week until we get to next Thursday. This time next week, a cold snap is likely. We're not talking about last February. It's not going to be like that, but you are going to feel it. And you are going to notice it. So a lot to go over. Let's start with a look at those clouds. And you see how they took back over our sky pretty quickly this afternoon. We had a little bit of sunshine earlier, but now the clouds are back in place. And across the state, it's fairly quiet. We just have the cloud cover. Here's our next disturbance. You see some of this moisture near Denver. Not a whole lot to it, but it is the next upper level disturbance, kick-starting some snow showers in Colorado right now. There's that ripple, that dip in the upper level flow. That's headed our way. It's going to pass overhead tonight. So remaining cloudy, and we'll probably have a few sprinkles. I wouldn't be surprised if you had a few drops on your windshield out there this evening, but it's going to be pretty limited in terms of overall moisture. Here's our future cast, and one thing I want to point out is the most likely areas to see rain will be south of Highway 90. And that's actually where we need the rain the most, but we're not looking at a whole lot of accumulations. We're talking a few hundredths of an inch. If we're lucky, we could have up to a tenth of an inch. Again, mainly south of Highway 90, so south of San Antonio. Then notice by the noon hour tomorrow, we clear out and it's back to sunshine, and then a warming trend commences. Now here's the latest drought monitor. I mentioned south of San Antonio, Dimmitt, LaSalle, McMullen counties. That's where we need the rain the most. That's where we have the most, the deepest drought. It's in the extreme category. So we're talking Cotulla, Tilden, even toward Three Rivers, Los Angeles, Fowlerton areas. That's where we need it, and we'll have some moisture tonight. It's just not going to impact the drought conditions, unfortunately. 87% of Texas considered in drought now. And those rain chances tonight are pretty slim, and through the early morning hours tomorrow, we'll give it a 20% chance, mainly sprinkles, maybe a light shower south of town. And then we get into Monday and we have another opportunity, but I think the best chance will be farther east of San Antonio. So we're talking Gonzales, Hallettsville, Cuero, those areas where you could actually get up to half an inch from some thunderstorms by the early part of next week. Otherwise, fairly dry. So cloudy out there right now, 61 degrees, dew point of 42. Let's talk temperatures. 59 Rio Medina, 59 in Comfort, Pleasanton 61. For the most part, a mixture of 50s and lower 60s. Gonzales 63 and Del Rio now at 64. Tomorrow morning, some low to mid 30s in the hill country, but we're thinking low 40s locally. Even Hondo 41, New Braunfels 43, 42 in San Antonio. Then by tomorrow afternoon, upper 50s and just clipping 60 degrees in some spots. So Gonzales 57, 58 the high temperature here in town. Also, I mentioned becoming sunny, but breezy. The wind is going to be picking up. We'll have a north wind steady at 15 to 25 with some gusts up to 35 miles per hour tomorrow. So a breezy day, but the sun will be back and will be near 60 degrees. We get into the 60s this weekend. Beautiful. Cool mornings, low to mid 30s, but afternoons well into the 60s with sunshine. Beautiful weekend. Early next week, low to mid 70s Monday and Tuesday, and even Wednesday. Then boom, Thursday. We're thinking high temperatures back down in the 40s with the next cold front that hits sometime Wednesday night.
Ooh, chilly. Thank you.
All right, kind of a surprise for the Dallas Cowboys today.
You talk about Dan Quinn deciding to stay in Dallas, even though there are as many as, 4 head coaching vacancies still out there. But Mike McCarthy, we're told late today by reports that he's been told he is staying as well to start next season. But will he be looking over his shoulder now when we come back? More about that. And how about a franchise record tied last night by DeJounte Murray, all for naught. Coming up.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator Dan Quinn has withdrawn his name for consideration from head coaching vacancies in the NFL. Will remain in Dallas. That is good news for Dallas D, but not so much for Mike McCarthy's job security. It's very clear the owner, Jerry Jones, was not pleased with the way the Cowboys season ended in the first round of the NFL playoffs against the San Francisco 49ers. But now he has a backup plan. Quinn has withdrawn his name from consideration for the Dolphins, Giants, Jaguars, and Vikings vacancies after the Broncos hired Nathaniel Hackett and the Bears hired Matt Eberflus as their new head coaches. Spurs star guard DeJounte Murray tied David Robinson's franchise record for the most triple-doubles in a career when he came up with number 14 last night against the Grizzlies. Unfortunately for DeJounte and the Spurs, it was a wasted effort as the Spurs fell to Memphis after getting close to an upset. John Morant tied his season high with 41 points, including 13 in the third. That's when Murray made a game of it in the fourth. Murray's able to tie the game up at 106-all to finish with 16 points, 11 assists, and 10 rebounds. But Jaren Jackson Jr., the son of the former Spurs champion, gets the long rebound, nails a three-pointer, and the Spurs fall 118-110. But what does DeJounte think of tying a record set by a Hall of Famer?
For me personally, I play the game to just get my respect from, my peers, the coaches, the legends, that played this game. That's really why I work so hard, work hard each and every day, and it's cool, but at the end of the day, it doesn't mean nothing to me. I think that's just my natural style of play. I could, affect the game in a lot of ways, so you're gonna, see those type of things, and that's just really what it is. Nothing chasing it or anything. I'm just playing, being DeJounte, and like I said, at the end of the day, I'm thankful and grateful, but I could be better.
All right, look who comes to town tomorrow. Chicago with DeMar DeRozan. Jordan Spieth is returning to San Antonio to defend his 2021 Valero Texas Open Championship. That was announced today by the tournament that will be played at the TPC Resort Course, the JW Marriott, March the 28th through April the 3rd. The week before the Masters, Spieth will try and become the first Valero Texas Open champion to win back-to-back titles at the Texas Open since Zach Johnson did it in 2008 and 2009. And what makes it even more exciting for Jordan, he will attempt to do it on the 100th anniversary of the Valero Texas Open. And get this, Ben Crenshaw, Hale Irwin, Lee Trevino, Tom Watson, all past Texas Open champs will be here to help commemorate this historic anniversary. They're going to be hosting things. They're not going to be actually playing, but they'll be hosting. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. Great names.
Thanks, Greg.
We'll be right back.
A few sprinkles tonight, especially south of Highway 90. Some light showers, not really amounting to much. This weekend, cool mornings, low to mid 30s, but afternoons in the 60s and sunny. Warming up next week until Thursday, a strong cold front.
Thanks for watching.
See you at 6. World News is next.